Yo, what's the deal? It's your boy Eric Taylor, Taylor to your astrology, and I am back with my Secrets of the Sun Sign series. And today I'm talking about Aries the Ram, the I am energy, cardinal fire sign, right? The first sign in astrology. And we're talking about Aries, who's exalted in the sun, right? The sun's home in Leo. It's exalted in Aries the Ram. My father was an Aries. So they're ruled by the planet Mars, associated with the first house. It's that baby, childlike energy that is assertive, aggressive. It's about fighting, arguments, competitive, athletic, right? Action, energy, willpower, drive. It's quick and fast moving like the planet Mars. It's pioneering maverick energy. Aries is highly intelligent, very assertive, loves to initiate, right? It's starting the spring equinox and the astrological new year, right? March 21st, 0 degrees, Aries season, okay? So the way it breaks down, and I'm giving you what they like to call it, the tea, may not spill, may pour it, the wisdom and knowledge. But I mean, you know some of the famous Aries. We're not gonna get into everybody. Eddie Murphy, Robert Downey Jr., Mariah Carey, Martin Lawrence, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I mean, there's a ton, I think Marilyn Monroe, ton of Aries people. William Taylor, my father. Now, understand, Aries, they want to touch life. That cardinal fire sign wants to initiate like a child. And don't get offended, we're not saying like you're child, like babies, but it's a masculine energy. It is not, because it's a fire sign, it's not introspective, and it learns by doing. Aries the Ram is very accident prone, right? They like to initiate, but they don't like to follow through. It's the spark of the fire. Right? These people, they like to use their physical body and their mind, right? It rules the head, the upper jaw. Aries is very, and think about rams. I don't know if you know, rams, right? In the wild, they like to use their horns, those round horns, right? Like the Los Angeles Rams, to bang heads, to fight. One thing you have to love about Aries, and also, this is why they're accident prone, because the ram is almost completely blind. It doesn't really have good vision. So they just move without thinking and just go, and they don't know where they're going, and they just boom. But that's how they learn and explore. This is the warrior, the soldier energy, right? Have a lot of like great, it's type A energy, male or female, right? They want to be doctors, firemen, police, ER, athletes, you know, work for EMS. They are the independent business leaders. This is a very independent energy and sign. Now, one of the main keys, right? There's 3 decans, right? So you're talking about the Aries decan is really around, you know, from the 21st to like, let's say to, you know, March 30th or April 1st. Then the second decan, you're dealing with Aries Leo. Little different personality, little bit more show-offy. They, you know, they really are very generous though. They come from the heart, but they, you know, they like to floss and shine a little bit. Okay, this is, you're talking like April 1st, April 2nd, okay, to like the 11th, 12th. Then the third decan, we're going from like the 12th, 13th to the 20th, 21st. Okay? Before we get into, well, the 20th, Taurus season. And the 20th, we got Hitler, that 29th degree of Aries. 21st is 0 degree Taurus, okay? So you are talking about the Sagittarius decan, that last one. And they can be very dogmatic, very preachy. I mean, think of Hitler, right? Very much about, this is the law. These are my beliefs and philosophies. You know, they're like the preaching child. But really optimistic and fortunate, and just, you know, it can be very powerful, lucky people who have big visions, big ideas, right? Aries, you guys, is very sexual, right? It's not always about making love. It's just about getting it in. And they want to get it in, and then they want to go on and go do something else. The men and the women, they can be very sensitive, but you would never know it. Because the Mars doesn't get into the sensitive side of things, because it's our willpower, our drive, our sexual energy. And the key is, because we're talking about the sun sign, what's the sun sign? Your vitality, personality, your father, your ego, your creativity, right? Your soul, your light, your authority, the government. So this tells you, when you have the Aries sun, you want to look at the planet Mars to see the energy of your father, right? What house and what sign is Mars in? Is it exalted in Capricorn? Your father was like this big, you know, businessman, this and that. Is it in Cancer, where it's debilitated? Maybe he got into a lot of arguments and fights. What house is it in, right? That flavors it, just like your sun sign. If you've got the Aries sun, which is a very extroverted energy, but if it's in the second, third, fourth house, they can be more introverted. The fourth house, you might be raised by a single mother and your father might not be around. In the eighth house, you might be kind of mischievous, very, you know, sexual, especially if you've got Mars there in the eighth house for the Aries sun, you know, and you are, you know, trying to make some secret dealings, you know, do some different things. One thing you really need to know about Aries the Ram, they're not going to initiate the fight and argument, but if you start it, they will finish it. But the thing is, they don't like to hear the word no. And more often than 90% of the time, they'll take your input, but they're going to do whatever they want to do. You know what I mean? Like, they can be hard-headed, slow to learn life lessons. But it's okay, because they're about having fun and brilliant. I mean, the Aries men, they could be 40, 50, 60 years old, and they're still exploring. They're still children. I got family friends and good friends from my, you know, family friend Tracy and Ashoka and Tony and, you know, different areas, my homegirl Rosina. Like, they are about experiencing life. They're always on the move and the go. You know? They love adventure. They love to play sports. They love to drive fast. They love speed and pushing the limits, the excitement. Aries are very funny. I mean, come on, Eddie Murphy, Martin Lawrence. They have great personalities, Robert Downey Jr., right? But they are like children. And they can be immature, but, you know, when you see that Aries sun in the first house, they can be very self-centered, but they are dynamic leaders. A lot of Aries will like to have their own business, start their own career. They can wake up, you know, and be off to work 4 a.m. and work till like 6, 7 at night. That was my father. He had his wine, his cognac, his fish. He was out of the house, leaving at 4 a.m. and wasn't getting home till like 6 or 7. They work hard. They stretch out a 24-hour day and get things done. They can be very dynamic. Now, depending on, like my father was the Aries decan. Very assertive, very aggressive, very domineering, very confident. But a big kid. And his nickname was Kid Taylor. Okay? So, I mean, it just literally plays out like that. It's just kind of like hilarious. But understand one thing you're going to see about Aries is that they have, when they want, extreme discipline. They are the military mindset. A lot of people in the military, right? The soldiers, the fighters, the warriors are Aries. You know, they're good with their hands. They're strong. A lot of Aries, because the sun is exalted, and depending on how the Mars is, if it's not in Cancer, a lot of Aries have very good immune systems, very healthy. Aries can suffer with a lot of migraine headaches. And so you want to see what's conjunct the sun and what's conjunct the Mars. If there are any malefics, you know. But Aries also is really willing to really fight any battles. They're very competitive. They want to win. They're like, we want to win no matter what. Okay? I mean, look at Kareem throwing shade at LeBron James because he's about to, in 2022, if LeBron stays healthy, he will be the all-time NBA scoring champion and leader. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Lou Alcindor, who was friends with my father, and Kareem came to my house. I was 6 years old, looking up at him, at all 7'1", 2", whatever of him. Like, oh my gosh. You remember him, those Bruce Lee films? I was like, wow, I couldn't believe it. But my father knew him from Power Memorial High School when he was Lou Alcindor. But they have this, and Kareem, I think, is the Aries Leo. So there's a little bit of that pride and ego, that arrogance, right? He don't want LeBron to take down his scoring title. He's been the scoring champ since 1984. So he's not trying to give that up. And he's been kind of throwing a little hate. And LeBron is more like Kareem than any of the other great players like Jordan or Magic or even Kobe in terms of giving back and fighting for the rights of his people and his culture, right? Kareem stood up. Bill Russell stood up. Well, LeBron and Dwayne Wade and Melo, right? They started at the ESPYs that year, but they've been standing up. And LeBron, he could have lost fans and this and that, and he still went on to become the billionaire that he is today. Aries is also very funny. They might talk fast. They have they can definitely be the ones, the men, they'll like throw on a fur coat and be like bling bling, nice jewelry and stuff. You won't see that as much with the Aries Sag decan, towards like the 13th to the 20th or like the 12th to the 20th. They're going to be more reserved, right? They're going to be more, very funny though, and very good storytellers. That's what you're going to see from them, And they might get more into the medical field and higher education and start their own business, okay? The artsy creative ones will be the Aries Leo especially. A lot of artists, singers, entertainers with the Aries Leo. Then you got Mariah, Aries. She just was like, doing it, So, a couple things you don't know about Aries. They can definitely sleep around. And I'm not saying they're cheaters, they can't be faithful, because they can. But it's almost like they don't think about it in their minds. It's like conquering, another conquest. And they're the type to like meet you or see you at a house party and just be like, let's go in the other room and do it. That's Aries. Because it's like they get that spark and then they want to act on it, right? They're always ready, for some action. And that's what makes them very sexual, the men and the women. But I think sometimes it wears down on them because even though Virgo and Sag is the bachelorette sign, Aries is right there. A lot of Aries are very independent and don't always like to settle down because they're not trying to conform for anybody. They're not always so good with the give and take. They're very much, I am, I want, I this, you know what I mean? And so it's hard for them sometimes to kind of do the Aries Libra balance, like, equality in the relationship. It's very possible. You got to see their Venus, their Jupiter, where's the Mars at, all that stuff. That's why you hit me up, Eric Taylor, Taylor2coaching@gmail.com, because you want to get the whole birth chart done. But Aries, I know about you. I know how naughty you can be and you can get. And unfortunately, I do know, about, that cheating energy. Papa was a Rolling Stone, okay? You might see some people out there that look like me that could be my brothers that I never met. 2 or 3 of them, But one thing I love about Aries, they don't accept no, but it's great for them problem solving. They will figure things out, the mission, the task, the plan. They will analyze, assess, and they're not afraid to try and fail. They're like, oh, that didn't work, but it's all right, we'll just do this and then we'll do that. And they're very optimistic, and you'll see that a lot with the Aries Sag, that third decan. But they're very optimistic and they're so curious. Yeah, they might touch the flame and the fire. They're like, oh, I didn't really get burnt. You know what I mean? And you think about it, right? Eddie Murphy, now that's a fire. Lillian, well, that's Aries, right? The sun is exalted in Aries, the cardinal fire sign, and they are the fire. It's the spark, but they will set it off. And, they are very good, loyal friends. I have a very good Aries friend, my boy Gavin, and they're funny and they just, there's something about Aries that you almost feel like when you look at them and see them that they don't have a bad day. Now, we're human. We all have bad days. But I think Aries, they're so driven with energy and action that it's like, they're like, I don't got time for a bad day. Yeah, today sucked, but tomorrow's going to be great. Or, you know what? It'll get great at 10:05 p.m. The first, however many hours of the day, 5 a.m. when I got up to 8:30 sucked, but it's going to get better at 9:07. I'm going to make it better. Let's play some music. Let's dance. You know what I mean? Let's get some ice cream. And and they cannot sit still. Oh my gosh. The ladies, I've known some Aries women, they just answer the pain. They got to go here. They got to be that. They got to go this place. They got to do that. It's hard because I think sometimes, when you think about the Aries mom, it's not that they're not good mothers, but they're just so focused on their tasks and what they want to do and what they got to do that sometimes their children are not 1A, but 1B or 2. Do you know what I mean? But their love is action, it's action orientated. The Aries sun sign mother is different from the Aries moon, okay? But also remember, they're gonna have some genius. Because remember I tell you before, right, when I did the Aquarius video, that Aries Aquarius sextile, it's like the old man genius pouring the knowledge, and then the childlike genius, ages 3 to 6, where they're just thinking with these great imaginations, what if I make a mechanical butterfly, What if I, make a robot to, bring you tea on a cart and just go down the hall in your house and just drive it to you? Like, I mean, they, you know what I mean? They just have these thoughts and ideas, even for technology. They are the pioneering maverick. So you got to give them credit because they will push through and problem solve. And they can be very technical and have a lot of, technology skills. But they're very good with their hands. They can fix cars, they're good at barbecue. Oh my God, my father was the illest on the barbecue. Had his own recipes and this and that. I wish I got that from him, I didn't. But he was a good cook and loved to drive fast too, just like a Taurus. We'll get to you, Taurus, soon. That was my mom, Taurus, and my father was an Aries. So I was raised by 2 kids, And I miss your mom and dad. But I can't help, and I think that's what you guys should feel. You can't help but smile when you think about Aries. Because despite sometimes their immaturity and this and that, you see something in their eyes. There's this light, they light up. It's that spark of the sun where it's exalted. It's like they don't mean to hurt anybody. That's why they don't initiate the fights and arguments, but they can be, it's cardinal fire. So they kind of want to do things their way. And that's why they don't like the word no. They're not always good at teamwork. They kind of want things to go through them, their way. But sometimes they know best. All right. So remember, the real New Year is not January 1st. It's March 21st, the spring equinox, the start of Aries season. It's the astrological New Year, but it's when life and nature is born again, spring again. And spring, what is it? Spring rings eternal, whatever. That's the mantra of Aries, right? They can't wait for the warm weather because they're gone. They're on their motorboat, their motorcycle, their water skiing. They'll, be adventurous in the winter. They're doing this, the barbecues. They're going around town, driving around the city. Aries is making it happen. They are making it happen. Make it happen Monday. So, yeah. Smile at Aries. They'll smile back. They flirt, but it's not like if you just thought about the Aries and Venus, it's not, they're just very direct. Aries is just like, hey, you want to do it? You know what I mean? The Aries is like, they're very direct. And, but there's something pure and naivete. Like I said, they move so fast. That's why they're so accident prone, But they'll heal up real quick. They'll be like, oh yeah, I broke my elbow, my wrist or whatever, got cut up and this and that, but I feel good. 3 days later, I'm fine. They got like a screw hanging out their head. I'm doing great. I love you, Aries. You're so dope. You're just so dope. So I hope I did you justice, and try to receive and listen and take advice. Try to slow down and consider the other half a little bit. We know you're smart and you got the willpower to drive and the energy and you're dope, but I think sometimes you can be open to learning, receiving criticism, and then be introspective and make the change yourself. Don't have people try to put it on you. You do it. But you gotta be aware, so just be aware. Deep down inside, you know how you are. Sometimes you're a pain in the butt and you're hard to deal with. But people love you anyway. Because people see the pure childlike energy in you. And it's not only honorable, but it's magical. And so people tend to always respect you. Because you're a good time. Aries is a good time. And endless amounts of energy. Oh my God, it's like all day. Let's play basketball, let's go miniature golf, let's go for a swim, let's do this. You wanna go hiking, let's go fishing. Like, pinky in the brain. Aries, the ram. The first sign, first house, cardinal fire sign, exalted in the sun. You're number one, you get it done. All right, Aries. Nothing but love. Eric Taylor, Taylor to Astrology, and I am the son of an Aries the ram. Kid Taylor. William Taylor. I'm not even gonna say his middle name because he hated it. All right? God bless you, Aries. And hit me up. Check out taylor2coaching.com. Getting ready to do some updates on the website. Hopefully you come to Astrological Coffee Talk this Saturday, October 15th, 2022. Only $15. I'm teaching a lesson on Mercury and Venus. Next month, November, I'm going to probably do it on Mars, right? That Aries Scorpio energy, perfectly fitting. I might do Mars Jupiter because they're friends. We'll see. But yeah, Aries. Hit me up, taylor2coaching@gmail.com, the Twitter, the Taylor2C at Big 3 Astrology, TikTok, IG at Taylor2 Astrology, Facebook, Taylor2 Coaching, the Patreon, Taylor2 Coaching. Holla at your homeboy. Deuces. Later, Aries. You're number one. Stop being so sneaky. Don't cheat. Smile. Slow down, man. You're gonna bang into something and cut yourself. Bye, Aries. Later.